like a blind guy trying to figure out the walls. Like, and I just got to LA.
Yeah.
And Brian's my buddy, and all this stimulus, and I'm eating Dalia and Will Sasso. I'm hanging out with him every weekend, and then I'm still fighting. I have big fights coming up, but it's like I'm not into it. I want to be like you guys. And so I'm like,
so they're talking about Brendan first coming into the comedy scene. Remember, he was this fighter. He was this terrible fighter. He's going to talk about who inspired him to do comedy. This is going to make you sick. Wait till you hear how Brendan got into comedy.
Torn that I meet you and you're super nice. I mean, and I always say this when I get the opportunity to. I always go, the first person ever to believe me do stand up was you from the very jump, if you remember.
That's true.
Because I remember I was doing a speech at Ohio State for their national championship game, and I asked you because you did one at Penn. I think.
Oh, yeah, I spoke at their graduation.
And so I was like, man, I need some tips. And then I remember you helped me on that. And then,
Oh, yeah.
And then you were like, and I remember we were driving somewhere, like, you're going to be doing this. Like, whenever you decide you're going to be doing this, you're going to be performing in front of crowds. I was like, God, she's crazy.
We were going to or from Chipotle.
That's right.
And I just, look, I don't want to give anyone any more credit than they deserve. I just remember you being so quick and your brain being so quick and you always having such a funny devil's advocate.
No, so basically what you just heard, she's the reason he got into stand-up. She told him, oh, you could do this. The reason you're so impressed with him, Whitney, is because you can't do stand-up either. So yeah, Brendan comes off funny to you, but what do you know about funny?
That's what comedy is often, taking devil's advocate. And I remember you truly making me laugh. Like, nothing makes comics laugh anymore. And I just was like, oh, he's going to be a comic. Like, what is all this? Why are you icing your knee? Like, what is all this shit? Like, I just remember being like, what's up? What are you doing? You're like, I'm at home icing my knee. I can't go anywhere. And I was like, this is such a waste. But it was whatever.
You were the very first one that I met who was like, dude, you could do this. And then also, I think when you said I was quick and stuff like that, I remember I was so intimidated by you because you're so smart. I always tell people how smart.
I was so intimidated by you because you're so smart. Like, you're so smart. You're so smart. This is what happens when get any two comedians in a room together, give them a coffee. They're already riding high on Adderall. They start really crushing over each other and themselves. And then, oh, I'm funny? Well, you're really smart. Listen to this again. This gets even more sickening.
I met who was like, dude, you could do this. And then also, I think when you said I was quick and stuff like that, I remember I was so intimidated by you because you're so smart. I always tell people how smart you are. So I was so intimidated. So I thought, all right, well, I'm not gonna outsmart her, so I gotta be on it, man. So I'd always try to make you laugh. Oh
wow, imagine thinking this out. Man, Whitney's so smart. So smart. There's no way I'm gonna outsmart her. So I better be on. The next time I see her, I better have something in the chamber. Imagine thinking this way. That you need to have something in the chamber, loaded up, ready to go, so when you see Whitney Cummings, you can impress her. And then openly admitting this in front of Red Bar. How sick. And the fact that this isn't being made fun of out of existence, that's what's really troubling. That people don't revolt. That there's not, that Proud Boys with the fucking torches outside their window.
Outsmart her, so I gotta be on it, man. So I'd always try to make you laugh. Always.
That's so funny.
Because I was so intimidated because you're so smart.
I did not. That's so.
And then he carries on. He says, I was so intimidated because you were so smart. That's the fourth time he said you were so smart. Imagine saying that to somebody. I wouldn't even say that to a smart person. You're so smart. Let alone her.
So funny.
Because I was so intimidated because you're so smart.
I did not. That's so. It's so
and
funny.
And now look at the big smile that comes over her face. This rules. I'm so smart and you were intimidated. Okay, well, I'm pretty flat. This rules. Talking about ourselves rules.
Why would anyone else ever want to hear this?
Exactly. And so the listeners just listen to these conversations on repeat over and I mean, eventually this bubble's going to pop, right? Aren't people going to get sick of the two comedians praising each other and talking about how great they are for 2 hours over and over again? I mean, this has to come to an end sometime.
need to deconstruct things and look back because I never felt that. I always felt
my open mics were us driving to Chipotle.
That's so weird. Yeah. Because you seem so impossible to intimidate, and you always. I feel like we.
No, you're so smart, and I didn't want to intimidate. Oh, please. So disgusting, right? I mean, this isn't right. We can't watch this.
I used to laugh so hard about such dumb shit.
Hard.
I remember
so hard.
One time I was
Sounds
trying
like
to
a great
figure out,
time.
like I also was a time where I never knew if there was like a vagueness around hanging out with people, and I never wanted to, because people would always go, Whitney, you emasculate men, which I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
I think you intimidate them.
Here we go. You know, every annoying bitch on the planet wants to rationalize it to themselves that they're intimidating. You're not intimidating. We just don't like you. You're a bitch. There's no such thing as an intimidating woman. Okay, this is what they tell themselves to get out of feeling like hell. You're not intimidating. You're annoying. You're a bitch. You stink. We don't like hearing from you. You know, so they come up with all these, it's because I'm a strong woman. Yeah, all of a sudden we just hate strong women. It's not true. We like plenty of strong women. Rihanna.
Love her.
Nobody's ever bashing Rihanna and telling her to get a room. It's only you type of people. They're going to tell themselves, you intimidate. As if she hasn't had this same exact conversation 1,600 times. By the way, when you're 39 years old, you shouldn't be... this soul searching about, what makes you tick and, what men interpret. This should be figured out by now, right? At 39 years old, you shouldn't be going, I wonder why men are so repulsed by me. Why I turn them, they must be because they're intimidated. No. Not only should you have this all figured out by now and you should be partnered up with somebody, but it's not true. They don't like you because you're a loudmouth crange lord.
And you emasculate men, which I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
I think you intimidate them.
Yeah, but I don't.
But not by your doing. I think you intimidate them, but it's their own insecurities.
And I was
a top 10 heavyweight in the UFC, and I was intimidated. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
wow.
That's so crazy to me. I never felt that from you.
You were intimidated by Whitney, and now can you feel the vibes in this room there?
Well, they used to date, didn't they?
What?
I think that they say this on this episode. Or they've hooked up before or something like that.
What?
Many years ago.
Jules, I hope you know what you're talking about. I don't know any of this.
In the chat, tell me if I'm right or wrong. I could be wrong.
I have no recollection of that. So that's crazy.
Okay, maybe I made that up.
Can't be making stuff like that up. All right, so maybe it's true. I don't know.
Anyone, please.
But this seems...
People are saying yes, they did.
Really? They dated?
I'm pretty sure they hooked up, someone said.
Wow. You could tell they've got this little Adderall-fueled vibe going on, man. They're like crushing on each other right now.
It never came off. I always felt...
No, but I wasn't like, I don't want to hang out with her. I was like, this is dope. I got to bring something to the table. So I don't feel like fucking Stedman next to Oprah. You know what I'm saying?
I never, and I think because when I first met you, I was like making jokes. And I was like, don't do that. Just don't be funny. And then I was like, I'm just being too boring. No. Just like overthinking it,
You're overthinking talking to Brendan the dummy Schaub? At 37 years old, you can't figure out how to talk to this guy without coming up with a plan?
And no, I remember one time I was like, no, I think we're just friends. I remember going, we're friends. Stop overthinking it. You have lots of guy friends. Because I have so many guy friends.
So many guy friends.
Two, that I'm always just like, this is just another one of my platonic
Everybody thinks they're your friend.
Me?
Yes. Everyone thinks they're Whitney's friend.
Really?
I think so.
I think I have lots of guy friends, and I've been very careful to not date comics because I don't piss where you eat. It's been some like Darwinian survival instinct that's just come in, Yeah,
but also comics are fucking crazy, so there's that too.
There's that too. But I haven't had a lot of comics hit on me. People think that. Callan's the only guy that's ever tried to hook up with me.
Callan! Listen to this. Callan is the only comic that's ever tried to hook up with me. We did some investigating. We'll play you this story. We're pretty sure Callan was hitting on Whitney while he was married. This could have led to his divorce! Listen to this. So does Brian Callen know that you're telling the whole world that he tried to hook up with you while he was married? I hope not. I hope so.
When I was way younger.
You're 17.
I was like of age. I was like 26. He's the only person that ever
That tracks for Callen. That tracks for Callen.
But then I was like, I just started laughing and he started laughing and it was over. And now,
so she hooked up with him when she was 26.
Yeah,
and
well, so she says.
He was married for 11 years.
Yeah.
And she's 37. That's just 11 years ago. So means...
the minute he got married to his wife, he hooked up with her?
Exactly.
Look at that. The timelines overlap. And does Brian Callen really need his audience knowing that he thought Whitney Cummings was hot? I mean, Whitney Cummings is, the laughing stock of any guys, So I can't believe that Callen would want this out there like this.
Oh, he's the best, I kind of wish I had hooked up with Callen, actually.
Whoa.
I don't know why I didn't. I think I had a boyfriend or something. It just would have been funny. It just would have been so funny to talk about.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you did it.
I mean, I was literally 20.
By the way, if you say, I wish I hooked up with somebody, that means you would like to hook up with them now.
Wow.
So Whitney is basically, she's single. She just got her fake engagement is off. She's fucking horny as shit. She wants to fuck Callen. Now she's going to go on to talk about how hot Brian Callen is.
25, 26.
Yeah, you just got to Callen pulls out his dick and his maroon Prius.
He was. I don't think has anyone that's hooked up with Callen ever come on your show and talked about it.
No, because they haven't hooked up with anyone we'd have on the show.
Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, that's such a good point. No, but it was he was so funny and charming about it, and I was always just like,
no, he's the best.
Yeah, the best. I just think I would have been laughing too hard. It just would have been awkward.
It's so creepy. No, I'm glad you did it. He's like our dad.
Here's another thing about Callen. Callen's fucking hot.
Wow. Callen's very hot.
He's very handsome, and he's very funny that you don't realize it, but I think Callen is legitimately hot.
No, Callen's an attractive.
We joke about how old he is. Yeah.
I make fun of his looks all the time, but if he would just acknowledge and be like, dude,
yeah,
imagine what you're going to look like at 53, motherfucker. And then it's game over.
And also
I'm aging like a fucking Indian.
Everyone in Hollywood loves, every female actress has always had a crush on Callen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Through the 90s, back in the 20s.
So she's horny as shit. See, these people, they get together. It's a guy and a girl, and they're talking, and everything's going good. Once they start talking about hooking up and sex, they start talking about it a little bit more, and they start getting a little warm and fuzzy inside. Before you know it, they're horny as fuck! All right, this is making us sick, right? What do we got?
Yes.
Jokes that offend Brendan.
There's
Would you
another
like to
part
hear?
that was pretty good.
Oh, really? What time?
25:50.
Oh, okay. 25:50.
It's just
What's
a
this?
shorty.
What's this one about? 25.
Just something about what Brendan says about what he does.
Okay,
just 25:50. That we like.
Let's hear it.
And then I also think that having something to say is another big part of being a good comedian. Rodney Dangerfield, he started at 60, and if he had started at 20, who knows if he would have had the same trajectory, because by the time he started, he actually had a point of view.
Yeah, that's when I hear some comics...
podcasting is a good
especially
practice.
With the podcast that I do with Brian Callen and Theo, it's I'm in the gym volleying back and forth with these monsters. So I think that helped.
I'm in the gym volleying back and forth with these monsters. That was it?
Yeah.
Monsters, killers. I don't think they know we're all making fun of the monsters stuff yet.
Well, maybe they should learn.
They should learn, but they continue to say it. It's almost as if I can't believe they're saying it knowing that we all hate it, but they don't know we all hate it yet. This monsters. Oh, these are monsters, killers. We joke about it. They're actually saying it.
And Theo, it's I'm in the gym volleying back and forth with these monsters. So
I'm in the gym volleying back and forth with these monsters. That's what they're doing when they're riffing on these podcasts. Dude, this is like hitting the gym. This is serious stuff. I mean, if that's not enough to make you sick.
Cass and I do with Brian Callen and Theo, it's I'm in the gym volleying back and forth with these monsters. So I think that helped. But I also think... when you hear comics go, I started at 17. What point of view did you have at 17?
And then you get...
These are killers, man. All right, let's go to 3250. Jokes that offend Brendan. This should be good. 3250. Let's see what happens here. Jokes that offend Brendan. Remember, comics love to talk about what offends them, what bothers them. This is great for us.
No, but I'm on there, and it's his last journal entry to his brother, his note to his brother. Oh,
I remember
crying on this plane. It's like, and I get mad. I'm like, why is it not cool to cry, man? If you motherfuckers read this, why is it not cool to cry?
I like when guys cry. It's sexy.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I cry all the time.
When's the last time you cried?
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I cried for like 2 days.
Wow.
Whoa! I like guys who cry. That's sexy. It's sexy when a guy at 40 years old is crying? That's what you find sexy? You need to get your head checked. And then she asked, when's the last time you cried? He goes, well, if you think it's sexy, well, guess what? I was bawling my eyes out because man died. Imagine that. Basketball man dies, and you cry your eyes out for 2 days. Could you ever imagine something like that?
That's sexy.
I cried my eyes out for 2 days because a b-ball guy died. He threw a ball into a hoop. Listen to this.
I cry all the time.
When's the last time you cried?
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I cried for like 2 days.
Wow.
I mean, I cried before I came in here.
Yeah, no, we just cried.
Now, is that 2 days straight? Just sobbing and sobbing and sobbing? I'm sorry. That's not... I get it. I wouldn't cry for 2 days straight if my dad died. I'd cry for a minute. Then I'd wipe those tears and I'd collect that case.
In the hallway. No,
I was crying in the hallway telling about a story of a reporter's story about Kobe. So I'm a super sensitive person. I think I'm even more, I've always been super sensitive, but I'm even more sensitive because I have kids now.
Did you always know that about yourself, that you're sensitive?
Always. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Always.
What, has any joke hurt your feelings?
Has any joke hurt your feelings? She asks. Oh, yeah, I'm super sensitive. This is what's cool to people? How dare you defend Brendan Schaub? How dare you like this guy? And I'm talking to the people in the comment sections, the people on his Instagram. Has any joke ever hurt your feelings? Oh, yes. Let's hear this.
On any of your podcasts? Have you ever just been like, oh, that hurt me?
Sometimes Theo will say some stuff where I'm just like, that was dark, man. You know,
okay.
Just like,
there's more.
I love that line of when you're right over it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just like,
whoa.
No, but I'm just saying, I love I'm fascinated by when something goes too far and why.
Yeah, I think it's like, and you know, Theo's so smart and brilliant, and it's just like, I don't. And,
you remember what it was?
I don't. I couldn't tell you, but he's done every show. But the thing is I think it was just it might have been when Kobe passed away. I remember waking up that morning, I'm like, I had to do 3 shows. I have stand up that night. I'm like, I don't want to be funny today.
Yeah.
I don't feel like doing this.
Yeah.
And then with Theo, it takes the most work out of anything I do because I can't just go on there and coast. It's like
yes,
I got to be so on, or I'm playing one-on-one against LeBron James.
Yeah.
Whoa. Him and his podcast where they read off a script. By the way, we exposed that